Happy Christmas Eve day, my favorite day of the year, and I think the last Friday reads of 2021. I think next week's probably a TBR. I don't have my schedule in front of me, but I think that's the plan. And I'm wearing my Lion King Christmas sweater. It has my favorite scene in it, and sorry if you heard my knees creak. I am now 29, and I think that's a thing my body does now. So yeah, today I'm going to talk about what I've sort of been reading. Mostly I'll talk about what I've also been watching. I've been enjoying myself, but reading has not been high on my list again, because I've just let December be a month where I do what feels good. But I did finish some stuff since last week, and I'm in the middle of some things I want to talk about. And let's go. So first off, let's talk about what I finished. I won't talk about these a lot because I have dedicated videos to both of these, but I posted on Monday my Secret Santa review for A Man and His Cat. This is an adorable manga that I read because I got Rhea from the Bookfinch as my Secret Santa, and they talked about this on their YouTube channel, I think last year. And it's so wholesome if you need to feel things. Like if you just want to feel things, I would read this. It has really cute art, like this adorable cat. So cute. So had a really fun time with this. It has multiple volumes out. It's just one of those wholesome quick reads. And in that video, I mostly just talk about adopting my cats. So if you don't care about this manga, but have always wanted to see video footage and me talk about adopting my cats, go watch that. Another one I finished was Temper, and I'm really not going to talk a lot about this because I talk about it a bunch in my birthday vlog, but this is the last Nikki Drayden that I had to read, and I read it, and I'm sure I'll put together a Nikki Drayden video because I've read all 4 of her works and I love them, and there are some things that are consistent across it, and I think I could really put together a video of being like, is this an author you need to read? Which I think for a large majority of people, she will be such a fun author, but I also think for some people and their tastes, it would just be like, maybe pass this one because of certain things in her writing style. So probably next year, it's on my list of things to do. I read this in a day. 400 pages in a day. I was pretty proud of myself. All right, and I'm currently reading Amor Actually, which I forgot to talk about last week, but I am still reading this short story romance anthology and loving it. I don't know if I ever explained it clearly, but this is like 9 short story romances that are the retellings of the romantic arcs in the movie Love Actually, which is one of my family's favorite Christmas movies, so this has been a joy for me, especially because each story is given its own Latinx twist. Like the characters are Puerto Rican or Dominican or Ecuadorian, or you know what I mean, like it's all over the place. It's set in New York City, and I see the little crossovers, and it's really cute how this project came together because I think all of these authors met at a retreat or a convention, and this was a project they did during the pandemic, and it's so fun. And today I got to read the story by Zoraida Cordova, and I love her, and I really love how she did romance in the young adult duology, the Hollow Crown duology, so I was really, really interested in this, and it was a good taste, so because I could be like, if I like what she does in this, maybe I'll try out her other adult romances because she writes under a different pen name for romance. And it's probably my favorite in the collection, and I found out she writes the last story in the collection too. I think the story where everyone comes together. And it was great. She got to retell the story of the author who found out his wife was cheating on him with his brother and had to go work on his book, and while he was there, the housekeeper and him fall in love, but they can't speak the same language. That's the arc, and I loved it. It was great. It was awesome. So that's been what I've been reading, and I think I'll have finished it by the time you're seeing this video because I have 2 left, and I'm trying to be done with it before Christmas Day because I'm very busy Christmas Day, and it's a holiday romance collection. I kind of get out of the Christmas story moods like the minute Christmas happens. So I've been working on that, and I started the audiobook for The Mountains Sing. I need to look up how to say this author's name, so I'm not going to try to right now, but when I wrap it up later, I will do that. This is for my local book club, and it's a Vietnamese generational story. It's kind of sold as like pachinko. I'm only 8% of the way in, but this was recommended to me by my friend Stephanie, and it has been really good so far. It's kind of been a little jarring in that how we jump between times, but it's not been too bad, and the audiobook has been phenomenal. So we kind of start in the 70s, I think, and then we flash back to the 30s where the family started with the grandmother. And so that's where I'm at so far. And it's very much the Vietnamese War told from the perspective of Vietnamese people, the casual average citizen who had to keep running away and saving themselves and leaving their homes behind, etc. So really excited to get back into that once I'm in more of an audiobook headspace, but like I've not been reaching for audiobooks when I could be. And then the last one that I'm still working on is The Liar's Knot by M.A. Carrick. I am this far now, so much further than 40 pages. I'm 206 pages in, and it's a slow start, but not a bad start. It's just that, like, I haven't been wanting to sit down and read, and this is very much a lot of political intrigue and setup. Like, there's so much good setup. Because basically the first book is very much a contained story, and this one now we're opening up the politics and we're learning about things that were present in the first book but we didn't even know to look at. And there's a lot of fun banter between our main three characters, and I just really want something to happen. Oh, and I really hope it happens this book. Like, I really, really do. like I know who the Rook is. I want Ren to know who the Rook is, okay? That's what I want, and that hasn't happened yet. Oh, it's what I need. So this has been really fun. I've just not been in a big reading headspace, but it's a slow start. Not unenjoyable, but it's definitely slow. Like, the plot is not picked up, but I see all of the dominoes. I see them all, and I'm like, what's going to happen? What is the picture of this all? So this is my main read. This and Amore actually are what I'm prioritizing. And then I'm planning on my last book of the month probably being The Poison Song, which is much shorter than The Liar's Knot, and this is the last book in Winnowing Flame. I talked about it briefly last week. This is probably my last book of the year, which will also finish off a trilogy. Hopefully it won't break me. That's the plan. So those are all the things I'm working on. And while I was at the bookstore, because I was collecting gifts for a bunch of my family, I found a used copy of Braiding Sweetgrass that looks brand stinking new. So I bought it for myself. Like, it has a tiny thing here. I saw full price versions of this upstairs that were more damaged than this. Like, brand new, $9. So I don't know. I really like this book, especially in a reflective way. And I talk about it a lot in Jess Owen's discussion video, and actually more listen than anything else, because there were amazing voices there talking about this work. And it's just so good at reflection and reorienting my head into, I think, productive spaces in terms of, like, it coexisting on Earth and not being so hopeless all the time. So I'm really excited to occasionally flip through this. It's great. And also, I just really like the feel of this. I don't know if you've gotten to see this in person, but it has a really nice, I don't know how to describe the finish of the cover, but it's nice. So not a huge update. I guess things that I've been watching, because that's mostly what I've been doing. I am basically done with season 5 of Bones, because I started working on the sleeve of my sweater. My sweater is a vest that has part of a sleeve now. I didn't bring it here to show you because I'm using double pointed needles for the first time, and it's fine. It's chaos. It's absolute chaos, but I don't want to accidentally drop a bunch of stitches. I'll show you guys later when I can actually, like, show you things. And if you follow me on my Discord, I actually post a bunch of picture updates there. So I've watched a bunch of Bones, and then we as a apartment have watched both seasons of Ted Lasso in like 2 weeks. So we are caught up now. That's amazing television. That is amazing. Nothing about that has flaws for me. I love everything about that show. I was nervous because everyone kept saying season 2 wasn't as good as season 1, and I disagree strongly with anyone who thought that way. I love that show. We've been watching The Witcher, which has been really fun, and then the highlight of my week that I can't even really talk about is Spider-Man. Like, oh my gosh, Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. You guys saw in my things I was anticipating in movies, I was really excited about Spider-Man. I didn't even know anything. I didn't go onto theory boards. I didn't really watch the trailer that closely. I watched it and I squealed and I was like, I can't wait. I did not even know that this would be a movie that would have spoilers you can't talk about. And then I showed up and, like, it was fantastic. It was everything I wanted on so many levels, and I can't even say why. So probably, I think I'm going to wrap up a bunch of, like, the visual media that I was anticipated for in January once I've seen it all, because I still need to finish Hawkeye and The Witcher, and obviously the last episode of Wheel of Time has just come out. And by then, I'll probably have a spoiler section in that video, because then people will have had, like, a month and a half to go see the movie if they want to and stuff, because, like, it's still really fresh now. But I loved it. Like, with all of my heart. I wish I could go see it again right now. That's what I wish. So it's been really fun consuming stories this week. It's just not a lot of them have been with words, because Ted Lasso, guys. That's where I spent most of my time. We've just been watching a bunch of Ted Lasso and The Witcher and stuff like that. Let me know I don't know what you're hoping to do this weekend, whether it's a super chill holiday weekend or if you're seeing a bunch of family, if you want to leave an emoji, leave a Christmas tree, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day, because this truly is my favorite day of the year. I love Christmas Eve day. Always have, always will. I have a bunch of Christmas cookies to take out of the freezer. We're gonna have a chill evening exchanging gifts as the roommates. It's gonna be fantastic. But yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.